Welcome to the Irish Seahawks show. Daragh here with you. The Seattle Seahawks are back above 500 after heading to Atlanta to beat the Falcons 34 points to 14 on Sunday. Here are a couple of things I learned from watching the game. But before we do, if you like this type of content and want more of it in the future, like this video and subscribe to the YouTube channel Under Center Podcast. Let us know what you thought of the game on Sunday as well in the comments. If you want to follow us on our socials, it's at Under Center Pod on Instagram and Twitter. If you want to follow myself, that I focus on a bit more of Seahawks content on my own X account, that is at Mars Bar. You'll follow me there, and we can have a chat about all things Seahawks if you want to as well. But let's get into it with the first thing, and that is back to winning ways. The Seahawks get back to winning ways after losing 3 on the bounce in 11 days, which caused some of the fan base to question the team. Picking up this win is crucial in a lot of ways, not just, of course, for the overall record. This was their first win against an NFC opponent this year. All of their previous 3 wins had come against AFC opponents, and their 3 losses in a row actually were against NFC opponents too. So that is so important when it comes into playoffs, playoff placings, even wildcard seeding. Like this, the Falcons are challenging for the NFC South, but if they do not beat who we expect to be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to the top of that division, then they will go into a wildcard seeding. And then similar, if the Seahawks can't top the NFC West, now the Seahawks have the head-to-head over the Falcons, which automatically puts them above them if they do finish on a similar record at the end of this season. Also, having 3 losses in a row is tough. We know that. Having 4 is almost the end of the season. It makes it really hard for you to come out to the fan base. I mean, Mike McDonald, John Schneider, to come out to the fan base after losing 4 in a row and trying to convince them that this team does not need to be blown up. This team does not need a rebuild. So winning this game is crucial in that sense, because if you look at the teams that have gone on and lost 4 in a row this year, and I'll name them for you now, the Jets, the Browns, Saints, and Panthers, that is not a group you want to be a part of. And getting this win, especially with the run that's coming up now in the next few games, is absolutely crucial to get the feel-good feeling back in the team. Moving on to the next thing, a fully healthy D-line. For the first time since the Miami game in week 3, we saw our first round pick Byron Murphy take to the field. Boy Mafe was healthy again. Derek Hall was healthy again. New signing Roy Robertson Harris contributed as well after literally just coming off the plane from London little less than a week ago. We saw a slight improvement in the run defense this week, not a lot. And other contributing factors led to maybe the rushing numbers not being as high as they have been against other teams in previous weeks. But a defensive line is part of that. And especially with what they've done to Kirk Cousins, if you saw the pressure, including 3 sacks, a forced fumble, which was returned for a touchdown, 9 quarterback hits in a week where the Seahawks backfield was struggling with injuries. This was the game that the D-line had to take over, and it did. Next, Geno's clean game. Despite only throwing for 207 yards and 2 touchdowns, the important stat line on the day, I believe, for Geno was 0 interceptions. Before this game, Geno was averaging an interception for every touchdown he was throwing. He was 6 for 6 so far this season. And to me, it brings to mind the Jameis Winston famous 30 for 30 season back in 2019 with Tampa Bay. But we know Geno is better than that. And he has shown in his last 3 years as a starter that he is better than that. And this sort of touchdown to interception rate was not going to continue. In this game, it showed as well that the Seahawks were never behind. So it meant that the play calling didn't have to be high risk. Geno didn't have to take high risk throws. Geno could hand the ball off more to the running backs, which is what we want to see. This also ties into another point, the takeaway battle. If your QB doesn't turn over the ball and your defense takes it away, there's a very high likelihood you're going to win the game. That is what the defense did on Sunday. They took the ball away from Kirk Cousins and that Falcons offense 3 times in the fourth quarter. because they were so far behind. They were trying to get back the game. The OC was calling more high risk plays. The quarterback was making more high risk throws, which led to 2 interceptions. And then, of course, which also was a contributing factor in the forced fumble and return for a touchdown for Derek Hall. The Seahawks have only had 4 takeaways on defense all season leading up to this game, and getting 3 in 1 game, and the offense staying clean is one of the most important ways that the Seahawks can win football games for these next couple of weeks before they enter their bye week. Now we look ahead to Sunday against the Buffalo Bills, another AFC opponent. Josh Allen is coming into town. This is not a team that the Seahawks have faced often in the last 10 years. In fact, only twice in the last 10 years have they met. The last time being in 2020 in Buffalo during, of course, that COVID season, which we hope will not finish in the same result as it did then. Of course, finished 34-24 to the Bills. Again, a late touchdown. I remember that game by Russ. Sort of polished off what was quite a poor performance on both sides of the ball in Buffalo that day. A huge test coming up for Mike McDonald and his defense, trying to stop Josh Allen, who, of course, is his ability to pass and run is well known around the league, but also the fact that he has thrown 12 passing touchdowns. He has scored 3 rushing touchdowns. But like a stat line I spoke about in one of my earlier points, he has no interceptions this year. The Seahawks will be looking to change that going into the game on Sunday. Hopefully, Reek Woolen and Trey Brown might be back. More hope with the Reek Woolen side than the Trey Brown. But like I said, we'll see what happens. We'll hopefully, maybe if we can, try and get a preview for that game out on the socials and on YouTube here before Sunday. Like I said, if you haven't already, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Let us know what your hope is for this Sunday against the Bills. Do you think the Seahawks can turn over the Bills and Josh Allen to make it 2 wins in a row and take command of that NFC West, especially with the fact that the 49ers lost at the weekend and also a few injury concerns too. So we'll see there. And actually, it's not even the 49ers who are in second spot at the moment. Of course, it's the Arizona Cardinals, because they have the tiebreaker over the 49ers after their Monday Night Football win. They'll be facing the Dolphins this week, so we'll see with the returning Tua. So it's a 2 NFC versus a NFC West versus AFC East matchups. We'll see what happens there. But anyway, this is all for this edition of the Irish Seahawks Show. Thank you so much for watching to the end. Make sure you have a great week, and of course, always go Hawks.